What's going on, everybody? Please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Hey, I'll tell you what, the team and player that should be most happiest of the Detroit Lions being, I guess, odds-on favorite of winning, I guess, the Super Bowl, NFC championship. The San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy. And here's why the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy should be ecstatic that everybody is looking at the Detroit Lions as a team that everybody should be gunning for in the NFC. First of all, nobody's talking about how the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. Nobody's talking about how the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Everybody's already moved on to what are the Lions going to do? The Lions just, they're the darlings of the NFL still. You know, everybody's just still hyped up about the Detroit Lions, which, I mean, to their credit, they deserve some respect. After being a laughing stock since existence, they finally had a NFC Championship berth year. To their credit, like I said, they deserve all the credit they're getting right now, but at the same time, that comes with a price. Everybody's going to be gunning for them. And at the same time, the 49ers are just sitting back like, hey, Detroit, you guys can have the spotlight. That's not winning a Super Bowl. That's not how you win a Super Bowl. You guys can be the talk of the offseason. We've seen this movie 1.5 million times. The Detroit Lions are odds-on favorite to win in the NFC and yada, yada, yada. And next thing you know, they fail to even win one playoff win or at home. They get beat at home to a team that they should steamroll if they even make it to the playoffs. Like I said, everybody's going to be gunning for the Detroit Lions because everybody's talking about the Detroit Lions. The media is going to be hyping them up. They were this close. They were up by 17. If they did this, they did that, they would be in the Super Bowl and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Detroit Lions are actually doing the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy all a massive favorite. Nobody's talking about how Brock Purdy's choked and on the big stage. Everybody's talking about how the Detroit Lions should win the Super Bowl this year. Now, I say all of that to say this. The Detroit Lions, they did something so rare where me personally, it's making me think that they will struggle this upcoming season. And, you know, you can put my bias aside. It's just me going outside of the box and just thinking of the Detroit Lions and traditional way of how a team is supposed to win a Super Bowl if they don't have, like, instant success, which the Detroit Lions had almost overnight success. They were right there. They were on the doorstep of the Super Bowl. But they basically skipped. If we're let me put it to you like this. If we're talking about, like, a movie, that's all, like, you got a build up to get to the point to the finale. The Detroit Lions basically went from pages one, a movie or a book. They went from pages chapter like 4, where they were starting to get to jail and starting to get things going, and they basically just completely skipped the whole entire middle part of the entire book or the movie, and they went right to the cinematic finish. They didn't even bother going through the middle parts of that book or that movie. Whereas a team like the Cleveland Browns or the Houston Texans, that team is doing it the traditional way. Cleveland, nobody's talking about Cleveland. Everybody's like, oh, and then when Cleveland is brought up, it's about Deshaun Watson. There's no questions about the roster. There's no questions about the Houston Texans roster. If anything, they upgraded at positions that they didn't need to upgrade. They got better everywhere on the team, on the roster. Whereas the Detroit Lions, this team, that middle part of the book or movie is gonna come back, and it's gonna come back in a hurry. They're gonna take a step or two back, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, you know, Detroit Lions are good, but they're not great. They're not Super Bowl calibers, a Super Bowl caliber team. They don't have a Patrick Mahomes. They don't have like a Hall of Fame quarterback. They got Jared Goff. He landed in the perfect situation. A team that had, who was a quarterback before Jared Goff? I'm in the NFC North. I'm a Vikings fan, and I don't even know who the quarterback was before Jared Goff. It's just like everything just fell in place. Everything just fell in place. Jared Goff is good enough to take you as far as the NFC Championship game, possibly even the Super Bowl, like he did the LA Rams. I almost called them St. Louis, but the LA Rams. As far as the Rams made it to the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff failed to score a touchdown. NFC Championship game, they had a 17-point lead. They failed to close the deal. That was their one and only. Even Dan Campbell came out after the game and said this was our best chance of making it to the Super Bowl, possibly winning it. And they could have, should have, would have won the Super Bowl had they beaten the 49ers, but now that's past history. Now, basically, everybody's looking at them like they are the Super Bowl champs. Everybody's got Detroit. They got 5 primetime games on the schedule. Everybody is gunning for the Detroit Lions in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles are quietly going to sneak up this year. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be right there. You know, all these teams are going to be looking at no matter how good a team is, the media is always going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. We'll see what happens. I feel like the Detroit Lions are going to fail to even win the division or make the playoffs. We'll see. We will see. Call it bias, call it what you want. I don't care. I'm just telling you what I think. Detroit Lions. You know, you guys should have done it. You guys had overnight success and, you know, didn't get the job done. You guys are going to see the middle parts of the book and movie this year. That's all I got for you guys. Until next time, Skol Vikings.